To mask or not to mask? This has become a huge debate in our times during the COVID-19 pandemic. Less than a year ago, if I saw someone walking down the street in a mask, I probably would be very confused. But now I don't even do a double take. And I think that shows the really strange and weird times that we're all living in. We're all affected by COVID in one way or another. I personally feel very strongly and I'm very cautious regarding COVID-19 because I do have an autoimmune disorder, so I am at a higher risk. So a lot of people say, well, if I'm not at a high risk, why do I need to wear a mask? Well, you do it for the people around you. Other countries have had the mask mandates and their numbers are decreasing while ours are increasing, and we keep questioning that. And that is due to our lack of social distancing and our lack of mask wearing. So today I'm going to look into infection. We have to start off by seeing how it infects someone to learn how to prevent the infection and stop the transmission. So then we'll look into how masks prevent spread, and then we'll just debunk some myths. So originally, when I looked up infection, I kind of, we all know it jumps 6 feet, it goes through the cough, etc. But I really got deep down into this, and it was found that a person, whether they're asymptomatic or have symptoms, it can come out simply just through speaking. So simply saying, stay healthy can do the complete opposite. A single cough produces 3,000 droplets. So an infected person will transmit this into me. It will duplicate itself. It will come into my lungs, my mouth, my nose, and then I spread this on to another person. So this virus was remarkably resilient compared to others. It was able to jump much farther and it was spread much quicker. So a study by a virologist found that this one can specifically stay in the air for 3 hours. And I thought to myself, wow, that's a crazy amount of time. One person coughs in a plane and it's still in there 3 hours later. Well, another study actually debunked that and found that it was actually in the air for 16 hours. So it lingers in the air for a pretty long time, especially in indoor environments, which is why a lot of states resulted into outdoor dining, outdoor this, because it's they say it's harder for it to jump or spread through outdoor spaces, but I still think that they do need to do a little more research on that. So we know how COVID is spread through airborne transmission. So we have to think, what are these masks doing to slow this transmission? Why do I need to wear a mask? Well, masks don't only protect you from inhaling it or, getting the virus. It protects it from spreading it out to others. So when people are sick and they have COVID, they're told to quarantine. It originally was 14 days. I just found an update that it is now 10 days that you are to quarantine. But a lot of people who don't know they're sick or don't have symptoms are out there spreading the virus without knowing it. So by not wearing the mask, you're spreading it. So if you just wear the mask, you're protecting just in case. It's more of a, okay, this is just a risk factor, I'll protect. So I wanted to know how many people report being asymptomatic. It was 40% of people said that they were asymptomatic. It was found, so a mask can prevent us if we don't know we're sick. So I wanted to look in some evidence to kind of support why masks are so efficient. So I looked into a science report about mask wearing, and they had a person sneeze, and it found that it was 20 to 500 micrometers it was able to jump from the sneeze. Then they put a wet washcloth on the person's mouth, and it actually stopped almost over half of the particles from jumping, and that was just from a damp washcloth. Because can you imagine what a actual efficient mask can do? And then I thought, what's better than science? Well, a real world scenario. So I looked into 2 scenarios, and one of them was here in Missouri. 2 infected hairdressers had 150 patients. Everyone was wearing their masks. All tests came back positive from all of the patients that day. And then another one was a man flew from China to Toronto, and he wore his mask. The people on the plane around him wore their masks. All 25 people around him came back negative. So this shows that it can prevent the spread. It's not going to stop COVID, but can prevent the spread unwanted. So we discussed how masks slow down the spread, But now we'll look into the different type of masks, because now you see how great masks are and they prevent it. You kind of wonder what type of mask you should be wearing. The best kind of mask is an N95, but they kind of want these to be safe for the healthcare workers. But sometimes you do see them out and about. I've been sticking to surgical masks. N95s are tight, snug masks. They protect the wearer and the people around the wearer because it can filter out the particles. I could not get my hands on any of these, but I do have a surgical mask. The surgical masks do have a little bit of a filter just for bacteria, but it's not as great as protecting, but it does prevent the spread of the droplets from getting out. And then lately I've seen cloth masks or bandanas. These are the lower end of masks. They do not protect you from another person. So let's say a COVID carrier doesn't have their mask on, it's not really going to protect you, but it can protect someone else from some of your droplets getting out. I do have a diagram. I hope you can kind of see it. A COVID-19 carrier without a mask to a healthy person without a mask is a high risk. A COVID carrier without a mask to a healthy person with a mask is moderately high. A COVID carrier with a mask to a healthy person without a mask is low. Now, a COVID carrier with a mask and a healthy person with a mask is very low. So if we all just wear masks, we'll be protecting each other. There also has been some usages of face shields. They are more of the plastic where you can see through them, but it is just kind of used over a mask to kind of protect the face. People who are anti-maskers have turned this into a political issue, a freedom issue, and a science issue. Science, they're saying that it lowers your oxygen level as well as breathing in your own carbon dioxide. Scientists actually debunk this. They did a test called a pulse oximeter, and it showed no decline in blood oxygen levels, and surgeons have been doing surgeries with masks like this for years with no health issues. And then the people who have turned this into a political issue have said that it's against their freedoms. We've even seen a lot of protests about masks lately, and I just think it's completely crazy. But think about before 9/11, we could go through airports without going through an extensive search, and now it's just something we're kind of accustomed to. The death toll from 9/11 was 3,000 people. That is 1/10 of what COVID has done to us so far. So if you can do that for an airport, why can't you simply wear a mask? It is a little thing on your face, wraps around your ear, protects you from others and others from you, and keeping everyone safe. So I don't know why it's become such a big issue. Masks alone will not completely stop the coronavirus, I'm not saying that, but it will slow down and protect us from the spread. We know that during the first wave of the pandemic, the countries that have implemented mask wearing have been more successful than the ones that have not. So we've kind of looked into how infection spreads, what the masks do for us, the best kind of masks, and kind of debunking some of the myths that people have said about masks. So we should all assume that we're sick. I wear a mask to protect you, you wear a mask to protect me, and we all keep each other safe. And I think that's our duty as a country, is to keep everyone safe.